All right, so another day of logging the rep. I think just honestly figuring out my own personal daily deposits is the big understanding in this current season. Shout out to my guy Ryan, and kind of broke down his daily deposits and his morning routine. And obviously, shout out to my guy Brian Ferrati that kind of coined the daily deposit phrase. He's been the one that I always reference back to. I told him, man, you really have something there. And so that's kind of been the naming and branding thing that he's been owning over the past, he would say for the past 2 months, really since February. But I mean, he's been using some form of that phrase, since last year when we got connected. But I think, figuring out, for me, I gotta continue the habit, the rhythm of, making videos. And so these type of videos are good, video journals, essentially just, hey, getting thoughts out, getting observations put on wax and on, published out into the world for documentation sakes. When I think about from a physical standpoint, definitely every single day gotta have, the mobility routine. I love stretching. I love, kind of doing the whole, just honestly just moving. I think it's a guy by the name of Vernon Griffith. He talks about, motion is lotion. And, the fact is, when you get to my age, I'm 33, I'm still young enough to where I can still do some things that I was doing in my 20s, but it just takes a little bit longer to prepare. And the recovery time is not as quick. But I still have, access to some of my youthful explosion and athleticism. But it is very few and far between. The recovery doesn't equate to the amount of effort it takes to prepare and prep to get to that point. So that's why you don't really see me do a whole bunch, when it comes to basketball, like dunking and tricks and stuff like that, just because whole different season of life. But I got to start, working in some good cardio and some, honestly, just even if it's body weight, just resistance training to complement my jiu-jitsu, because as good as I'm starting to get with that can't be my only exercise and movement within a week. And unfortunately, that tends to be the case outside of the occasional mobility work that I'll do. But I definitely am somebody that I'm starting to get a rhythm into writing. I have no real desire to put out all these threads and think pieces. I want to build a credibility, a confidence in video, in the video space, in voiceover work, in different things. I've made 2 really impactful connections in the last 24 hours. One is someone who actually is currently working in voiceover, and looking forward to having a call with them sometime next week. And then got connected with a producer over in the UK that I'm going to be working with on some different story pieces. I would not be surprised. I'm not promising anything, but I would not be surprised if I take some of the stuff that he's made and worked on, and throw some bars over it as well, because just trying to keep the pen sharp. And it's very much still in me, and so that is what it is. But I think the fact is, I have a really good rhythm of writing, and now I just need to up the output on that side as well. This side right now, it's very, low bar of entry, just, talking to the camera, tell the truth, as Zach says, but, the producing something on the short form, even from this or from something else, but getting a good rhythm of things that I can post, having the ideas, but also then following through on the ideas and making something that I can ship. Simple as that. I think I find myself in a gap between what I am interested in and what I have a taste for and what I am able to create. Sometimes it's not that I can't create anything else. It's more or less I don't have the access to the footage or the sounds or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like, and honestly, a lot of this is really just excuses. And so that's where I have to just create something, ship it at 80% if it means, I'm getting it out as opposed to just sitting on it. And honestly, I think that's going to be that's got to be something that I lean more into, because there's always going to be things that I can add to it when I give myself a deadline, when I put a forcing function on a task or, something, like a project, assignment, whatever you want to call it, then it gets done because, there's accountability, there's consequences. Whenever there are consequences, I mean, honestly, that's the reason why I was able to do 75 hard back in 2020. I did 75 hard because the simple fact of putting myself out there, people knowing that I was doing it, and then if you mess up on one part where you didn't take a progress picture, you didn't drink a gallon of water, you didn't do, you have to start over. And especially when you start to get, with day 20, day 21, it's like, bro, do I really want to start over? I mean, there are a lot of people that I know for a fact that started 75 hard and never finished it because, I mean, it gets hard. I mean, it's called 75 hard for a reason. But at the same time, that discipline, I think, is certified, it's stamped by the consequences that are on the other side of it. And so I don't know what, consequences I need to set up, when it comes to like my daily deposits, my morning routine. I know every day is going to be different, but I also know that I just have to create a better bias for action. I follow a lot of people that, we talk about a lot of things. I would definitely say that I am somebody that, other than, back in October when I had the juice flow, going really strong, I was not, like I had the good rhythm of capturing quotes, putting them in the template and shipping, the carousels and all of that. And so that was a really good season of, what I was doing. But at the same time, one, it wasn't my own words, which is not a bad thing, but it just is like, being aware that where's the pivot from that? Like I can show people, like how to curate quotes, how to find stuff, how to create and things like that. But at the same time, that's not really, something that somebody's really going to like hire me out for. They may hire me to come speak to their group. They may hire me to, create something for their brand because I have, a particular set of skills. But like, what does it look like to prepare for the job that you don't have yet, but you want in the future? And so that's why I'm, getting practice talking to a camera. That's why I am in Cut 30 and, learning short form video, learning how to, everything from the hook to the script, piecing it together, definitely has given me yeah, a lot to think about, but also I'd say pretty ease of execution. Honestly, in just following through. I think it's going to be better when I just become a talking head instead of trying to overthink what it looks like. How do I make it happen? And it's not an easy endeavor. It's rather simple, but it's just not easy. And most things that are worthwhile are not easy, but it's always worth doing it. So for those of you who are in the no cuts, one take flow, I salute you. For those of you who will be starting the PR 30 that Zach just kicked off, I'll still see you out there. I will probably stay on the no cuts side just for right now in this current season. Maybe catch another cohort in the future. But honestly, just at this point, trying to focus on one thing at a time. Like I even decided not to do the Creator Wizard 7-day challenge because I want to, devote my all to Cut 30. There are still other things that I'm working on, even like outside of a digital entrepreneur space. And so I have to make sure I'm following through on my commitments. And so I don't want to overcommit myself in a season. And so right now I can commit to doing this, and financially I've already committed to Cut 30. So that was honestly the big reason why I am not doing PR 30. I just right now don't have it in the funds, but hopefully one day, I can chalk it up to learning, add it to my learning budget. But for right now, we're just following through, making those daily deposits, making those, putting those bricks down and just trying to build the foundation. So till next time, peace.